And we are back. Predictions. Week 4 edition. Last week I went 10-6, putting my season total to 30-17-1. In case you're curious, the 6 games I got wrong were the 49ers Broncos, the Packers Buccaneers, the Rams Cardinals, the Jaguars Chargers, the Chiefs Colts, and the Bills Dolphins. But anyway, let's get straight into it. Starting out, Thursday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. For those of you curious, all of these are Eastern Time. We have the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Miami Dolphins, one of 2 teams who are still undefeated. They're 3-0. Only team left in their conference, undefeated. And then we have the reigning AFC champions, the Bengals, who are currently 1-2, who finally picked up their first win against the Jets. The Dolphins picking up a pretty huge win against the Bills. I think that the Bengals are going to win this game, though. I feel like the Dolphins are looking too much at the Bills game, that they're not going to have enough time to plan for this Bengals game, especially because it is a short week. So I think the Bengals are going to take advantage of that and get the win. So also, in my opinion, the Bengals will probably be looking more forward into a game planning for the Dolphins than the Jets game as well. Next, our first London game of the season, we got the Minnesota Vikings and we have the New Orleans Saints. Both of these, actually no, never mind. Vikings are 2-1, Saints are 1-2. The Vikings, they pick up a last-second win over the Lions, 28-24. That was a pretty good game if you watched that. And then we have the Saints, who do end up losing to the Carolina Panthers, 22-14. I think the Vikings are going to win this game. Recent years, the Vikings have played super well against the Saints. In my opinion, the Saints are a worse team, even though they might be better roster-wise. You lose a coach like Sean Payton, that is a huge blow. I think the Vikings are going to keep the historic, recency and keep beating the Saints, even if it's in London. It's at 9:30 a.m. Man, I'm not looking forward to waking up to watch football that early, but I'm going to have to next week for sure. Next, we start out, we have our 1 o'clock game. Starting out, we have the Seahawks and the Lions. Both of these teams, 1-2. The Seahawks, they lost 27-23 to the Falcons last week, getting the Falcons their first win of the season. And the Lions, as we just mentioned, barely lose to the last-second loss to the Vikings, 28-24. I personally think the Lions are going to win this game. The Lions have looked like a very good team so far, even though they haven't gotten the wins. I think they're going to, really show that they can beat these bad teams, and they could probably beat the Seahawks pretty bad as well. I think the Seahawks might be in a bit of a bad situation. They might get blown out. I think the Lions are going to steamroll the Seahawks. Might make it close, depending on Geno Smith. I would not be shocked if Geno Smith had a Geno Smith, game and went off. But I still think they're going to lose even if Geno goes off. Next, we have the Jets and the Steelers. Both of these teams are 1-2. Both of these teams did lose to AFC North teams. Starting with the Jets, they lost 27-12 against the Bengals. And the Steelers, they lost 29-17. Really was 23-17, but a last-second touchdown because it was a failed lateral. Yada, yada, yada. Realistically, both these teams probably aren't going to do very well this season. And that's what it comes down to. I think the Steelers are a better team. I think the Steelers have the better chance of making the playoffs because they have a better coach. No offense, Robert Saleh. I was trying to think of your name. But this is week 4. I believe this is the last week. Potentially Joe Flacco will be starting. So, who knows? Maybe Joe Flacco goes off. He's had great yards so far, but he's also thrown 50 times a game almost, every game. So yeah, I think the Steelers will win this game. Joe Flacco, this might be your last game as a starter, so. In Joe Flacco fashion, I think he's not going to do very well when it matters the most. Next, we have the Giants and Bears. Man, the Giants and Bears both 2-1. Are you serious? The Bears, they come off a 23-20 last-second win against the Texans. They kick a game-winning field goal after Roquan Smith has an amazing interception to set them up. And the Giants, they lose on Monday night. What was 23-16 or something? Yeah, 23-16 to the Cowboys and Cooper Rush. These are really probably two of the worst 2-1 teams. But nonetheless, I think the Giants are going to win. Nothing against Justin Fields. I mean, I do have a Chicago Bears franchise, literally. So I know about Fields. And both in my series and in real life, Fields hasn't looked all too good. Really does not look like the starting quarterback you want him to be. And that says a lot. I think the Giants are going to win this game because of Justin Fields, essentially. And I don't know about David Montgomery. If he's out long term, then I think the Giants are definitely going to take advantage. I have something stuck in my nose. I don't have any tissues, relatively even close. Next, we have a division game. Titans, Colts. Titans 1-2. Colts 1-1. The Titans pick up a win against the Raiders 24-22 after narrowly surviving because the Raiders going to get a 2-point conversion. I wonder if we'll talk about any other teams not getting 2-point conversions. And the Colts pick up a narrow win 20-17 against the Kansas City Chiefs. Personally, you can tell one game is definitely, more shocking than the other. No one picked the Colts to win against the Chiefs. No one. Me personally, I picked the Titans to beat the Raiders. Titans-Raiders was kind of a toss-up between two teams that, are good, or were good at least, and just haven't done anything. I think the Titans are going to win this game, though. I feel like the Titans have really asserted themselves as a team against the Colts. They haven't really lost in a while, I believe, and I don't think they're going to continue. I think the Titans are winning. Next, we have the Chargers and Texans. Chargers 1-2, Texans 0-1. Chargers, they lose 38-10 against the Jaguars. We're gonna Chargers. Herbert's injured. Played through an injury. Not too good. I'd rather have Herbert sit out. You do not want to let your franchise quarterback, be doing all this. Just don't make the playoffs this season. It's fine. Just wait till next year. People will give you criticism. Yeah, whatever. But realistically, it's not worth the risk, in my opinion. And then the Texans, they lost 23-20 against the Bears. The Chargers defense allowed 38 points for the Jaguars. That's pretty bad. I think the Chargers are going to bounce back and win, though. Mainly because I feel like if the Chargers do lose this game, they're probably going to be out of the playoff already, unless if they have a miraculous run. Because realistically, if a team starts 1-4, I feel like, or worse, they're going to have a very tough, way to the playoffs. Because I feel like 7 losses is the most losses you want to have if you want a chance at the playoffs. Granted, 11-6 is a hard record to beat, but you look at the playoffs last year, the worst team in the playoffs in the AFC was 9-7-1. So I feel like you have to, keep around those 7-loss range if you even want a chance. Next, we have the Browns and the Falcons. Browns 2-1, Falcons 1-2. The Browns pick up a 29-17 win against the Steelers, and the Falcons pick up a 27-23 win against the Seahawks. Just to be clear, yes. I think the Falcons are going to shock some people here. I think the Falcons are going to win this game. I think the Falcons will win this game. I think the Falcons are going to improve to 500 and go 2-2. I think they're going to beat the Browns. That's very shocking for me to say. I know. I don't even think that might happen. But I feel like this could be upset central. This is a game I feel like the Falcons could dominate. I don't know why. Cordell Patterson looks great. Kyle Pitts got involved. Drake London looks pretty good so far. You guys could be a good team offensively if you just have like a natural quarterback. And I think Mariota is going to show a lot of flashes. Next, we have a Cowboys and a Commanders game. Commanders 1-2, Cowboys 2-1. Commanders, they lost 24-8 to the Eagles. Cowboys, they won 23-16 against the Giants. I don't think this Cooper Rush show is going to stop anytime soon. I like this Cowboys roster a lot, even with Dak injured. I think the Cowboys are going to win this game, mainly because the Cowboys have played well against the Commanders recent years, and I don't see that stopping just because they don't have Dak Prescott. Because that year where the Washington made the playoffs at 7-9 or whatever. Who was the Cowboys quarterback? Ben DiNucci, maybe? Garrett Gilbert? Someone. I don't remember, but yeah, I think Cooper Rush is definitely better. Next, we head on to Philadelphia, where we have our final undefeated, second, we already talked about the first one. The other undefeated team, the Eagles and the Jaguars. The Eagles, 3-0, Jaguars 2-1. Jaguars pick up a very impressive 38-10 lead win over the Chargers, and the Eagles pick up a 24-8 win over the Commanders. I don't think this Eagles show is going to stop either. I think the Eagles are going to go on a run, win a lot of games, and before they get their first loss, that is. And I think they're going to be a team to be, afraid of. So I think the Eagles are going to easily win this game. Final 1 o'clock game, we have the Bills and Ravens, both these teams 2-1. Bills, they lose 21-19 in a very close game against the Dolphins, where they almost won, missing majority of their defense, which is pretty impressive. In fact, you held the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle to only 21 points. And then the Ravens, they pick up a 36-27 win against the Patriots. I think this game has potential to be close, but ultimately I think the Bills are going to, even if the score is close, I think the Bills are going to dominate the whole game to where even if the score is close, no one's going to think the Ravens are going to win. Our only 4 or 5 p.m. game, we have the Cardinals and Panthers, both these teams 1-2. I feel like this has potential to be game of the week. People might not agree. But Cardinals, they haven't looked too good with DeAndre out, but the Panthers, on the other hand, haven't looked too good either, but they do pick up a win last week. Cardinals, by the way, they lost 20-12 against the Rams. Panthers, 22-14 win against the Saints. The Saints have a pretty good defense, so I think that's nothing to shy away from. I feel like this game has a lot of potential to be close, or I think the Cardinals are going to potentially blow out. I really don't see a situation where the Panthers a blowout win. I see a situation where they win by maybe 6 points, maybe 3 points. I don't see them winning by more than that. But I'm going to take the Cardinals to win. I feel like the Cardinals, they're known for being good in the first half, maybe because of their coach. So, Cardinals. Starting out our 425 section, we have 3 games. First one being a division game, the Broncos and the Raiders. Broncos 2-1. Raiders 0-3. Worst record in the league. I think that's going to change. I'm just going to say it right now. Broncos, they do win 11-10 against the 49ers in an ugly game. Raiders, they lose 24-22 after a missed 2-point conversion against the Titans. I think the Raiders are going to win this one. Josh McDaniels, he coached for the Broncos. I think he's going to come back, show the Broncos out, He could be a good coach. I don't think he is, but he could be. And I think they're going to win that game. Pretty convincingly, I feel like the Raiders will. Because the Broncos have not looked too good. Defense, amazing. Offense, lackluster. Next, we have the Patriots and the Packers. Patriots, they lost 36-27, and the Packers won 14-12 after allowing Tom Brady to not get a 2-point conversion. Which, by the way, that play clock, that hit 0 a few different times. Mainly, hit it once where they scored that touchdown. Refs. Come on. Delay a game is a huge penalty. That's 5 yards. Anyway, Patriots, I believe, are going to be without Mac Jones, which means Bailey Zapp or Zappy, whatever his name is, or maybe Brian Hoyer. I don't know if he's even in the league still. Or maybe they bring back Cam Newton. I think the Packers are going to win this game, mainly because Mac Jones is probably not going to play, which I mean, if Mac Jones was going to play, I feel like the Patriots would probably pull off an upset win because, Packers, they were probably looking into the Buccaneers game and then, overshadowed the Patriots game, especially if they knew Mac Jones would be injured. But I think Packers win. Next, we have the Chiefs and Buccaneers. Sorry, I read the next game down. Chiefs and Buccaneers both 2-1. Both suffered their first loss of the season. Chiefs losing to the Colts 2017. Buccaneers losing to the Packers 14-12. I feel like this is going to be a great game. By the way, this is Sunday night, 8:20 p.m. I think the Chiefs are going to win this one. The Chiefs, I think they're going to bounce back from their loss super well. I think they're going to go ahead and win this game. I think they're probably going to show very solidness. I do feel like, I know Mike Evans will be back. I feel like Julio Jones will probably be back, but I ultimately feel like the Chiefs are going to win in a shootout. Because, no offense to the Chiefs defense, but I don't trust you guys. And yeah, Chiefs. Finally, Rams 49ers, Monday Night Football. Rams 2-1, Niners 1-2. Rams pick up a win against the Cardinals 20-12. 49ers lose to the Broncos 11-10. I think this is a great game because these are the two teams that made the championship game last year, and I think that's going to show. I think the 49ers are going to win this game, though. I think this is probably going to be a blowout, honestly, for the 49ers. The Rams haven't looked too good, neither the 49ers, but I feel like Jimmy G is going to have that bounce-back game. I sure hope you do, Jimmy. In case you're wondering, in my fantasy football league, Ezekiel, I tweeted this on Twitter. Jimmy G, I was down 10 points. I had Zeke and Jimmy G left, and my opponent had Javonte Williams. Zeke played Monday night, and then, somehow Javonte Williams outscored Jimmy G. And I was so pissed. I needed Zeke to, pop off, get me to win. He pulls away. Jimmy, you better play well. Because my three quarterbacks in fantasy right now, Jimmy G, who I just picked up last week, because Jameis Winston isn't looking too good because he's playing injured, so I'm not, having him. And then Russell Wilson, who hasn't looked good either. So I'm just, struggling with quarterbacks. But the rest of my team is amazing. And that's why they kept me, in that game. I ended up winning, by the way, by, I think, 4.5 wins or so. So thank you, Zeke, for clutching up. But yeah. To recap. Oops. I accidentally touched my volume button. The teams I have winning, I have the Bengals, Vikings, Lions, Steelers, Giants, Titans, Chargers, Falcons, Cowboys, Eagles, Bills, Cardinals, Raiders, Packers, Chiefs, and 49ers. The teams I have losing are Dolphins, Saints, Seahawks, Jets, Bears, Colts, Texans, Browns, Commanders, Jaguars, Ravens, Panthers, Broncos, Patriots, Buccaneers, and Rams. That's going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, There is no bye week. I had to make sure. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow with tier list. And then on Friday there will be a Bears franchise. And I do have a personal issue going on right now. So there might not be a Bears franchise Monday, and gonna go a bit in depth in that. I'm not gonna talk about what's going on until I'm ready to. But I don't know what's happening quite yet in this situation, so I don't know if anything's even going to happen or when it is. I don't know if it's just whatever. But if something does happen, I just want this to be known since I'm uploading this Wednesday. I already have the Bears franchise for Friday pre-recorded, and I'm going to pre-record the tier list today on Wednesday. So, yeah, if anything does happen, I'll probably try and pre-record a Bears franchise for Monday, but after that, I can't really pre-record anything. But if something does happen, Bears franchise, I already tweeted this as well. Bears franchise will be temporarily stopped, and the other videos with the power rankings, predictions, tier lists, they will be without audio. Mainly because also they will probably be on Madden 23 because I can't really do edits on my phone. And in order, if I don't have audio of me speaking, I'm gonna need to edit who I think's gonna win or where I have a team in a tier list or power ranking. So that's what's gonna happen. So if anything does happen, Bears franchise will be temporarily stopped. Uh, and the rest of the videos will be without me speaking. So yeah. If something does happen, relatively soon, the last video you will have with audio will either be this Friday or this Monday, depending on if I have a time to pre-record a Bears franchise for Monday. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you tomorrow with tier list and Friday with Bears franchise. And then I don't know when the next video will be. Either at the latest, it'll be Tuesday or, another day. It will definitely be before Thursday or on Thursday. Goodbye.